PS2 mini games.
Hello and welcome back to PS2 Mini Games. This will be the first of 3 videos I'll be doing on OLL, the Norwich Gaming Convention. This will be the pre-video, in other words, the video where I discuss what I would like to find. I have a top 10 games list I would like to find, and some accessories and some consoles. So we'll go through them, reasons why I want to find them, how valuable they are, and the likelihood of me finding them. Obviously I'll be looking for platinum games also, because they're obviously very hard to find. And as a little side note, I'll probably be looking for N64 and SNES stuff too. For the simple reason they are my 2 favourite consoles, and generally speaking, I do collect for them on the side, just not for the channel. I might start including them in future videos, but this is PS2 Mini Games, it's all about the PS2. Right, let's get into it, let's get started. So these are the top 10 games I wish to find. What's the chance of me finding them? Probably slim to none, but you never know, I might get lucky. In no particular order, so it's not like most wanted to least wanted. So let's just go for it. Game number 1, Haunting Grounds, the Capcom horror game. This game alone in the last year has gone up something like 50%. To put it in good terms, when I first started collecting for PS2 about a year and a half ago, this was almost about 60 quid. Now you're lucky to be paying 90 to get a good copy of this game. That's how much it's increased in just a year. It's literally gone up by 30 quid. It's also getting very hard to find. Generally speaking, it's become very popular all of a sudden. I don't know the reason why. Maybe because it's a Capcom game and it's a horror game. Both genres are very, very popular these days, especially the horror genre alone. Nearly every game's getting more and more expensive by the month. I mean, anyone who buys the Silent Hill games will tell you nearly all horror games are starting to go through the roof. Game number 2, 10,000 Bullets, an extremely rare game. This will retail about £60 these days. Simply put, I have not seen a physical copy yet. Now I've looked at a lot of places. Even eBay, the prices are ridiculous, but I'm not paying double what it's worth to buy a copy, you know what I mean? Chance of me finding this at OLL? Incredibly low, but there's always hope. Blind, crippling hope. Game number 3, not so much a really rare game, but a game I just can't seem to find, and that is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. This was the first Need for Speed game on the PS2. This bit came before Underground. Consequently, it's also probably the lowest selling Need for Speed game on the PS2, and you're going to be paying between 15 and 20 quid for this game. So it's not super expensive, but it's not easy to find. Trying to find a copy of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 and CEX has proved incredibly hard. I could just use CEX roulette, but I'm not going to use that for anything below 20 quid. What are the chances of me finding this game? I would say decent to good. As I say, it's not super rare, but it's not common, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of optimistic about this. Game number 4, Resident Evil Survivor 2, the only Resident Evil game I haven't got yet. Also the most expensive. You're going to be paying between 40 and 50 quid for this game. It's not super rare, and yet again it's not super common. It's like in that middle, like uncommon, like rare situation. What's the chance of me finding this game? I'm going to say not likely, but it's not, yeah. I'm once again hopeful. I'm very hopeful. Why do I want this game? Once again, I've got to the point with this. I want to complete certain franchises. I've completed the Spyro franchise, the Crash franchise. I am 1 game off the GTA franchise. This is the only game I need for the Resident Evil franchise. A lot of these franchises have only got like 1 game. I would like to complete them, so I haven't got to look for them ever again. Game number 5, Samurai Warriors 2 Extreme Legends. You might think that's quite a common game. Oh no, that's not a common. That's a rare game. In fact, you can be playing £40 plus for this game. Why is it rare? I have no idea. I have tried for the last 8 months to find this game, because I'm a fan of Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors. I'm a big Koei fan. Yes, it is the generic hack and slash. Yes, you do press the same button constantly every time. But there's something about the franchise I kind of like. You know what I mean? Also, Samurai Warriors 2, quite possibly one of the last games with the English dub. I like the Japanese original voice actors, but something about the English dub is kind of hilarious at the same time. What's the chance of me finding this? Again, extremely low, but once again, I'm optimistic. Game number 6, Dragon Ball Z Infinite World. Once again, this is the last Dragon Ball Z game I actually need, and by far the most expensive. You're going to be paying at least 50 to 60 quid for this game. Why? Once again, I have no idea. But I'm going to assume it was released in limited copies, maybe in the end of the PS2 life. Because to be honest, before I started collecting this, I had no clue this game existed. Absolutely none. Put it in context, when I was a boy, I bought every Dragon Ball Z game. All 3 Budokais, all 3 Budokai Tenkaishis. I bought them all. Didn't see this game, so I missed it. What's the chances of me finding it? Low again. Shockingly, rare games are rare to find. I mean, who would have thought? I do hope, though. I'm hoping I'm going to get at least one of these games on this list. Probably going to be a Need for Speed game, though, isn't it? Game number 7, Okami. This is probably the most common game on my list, and probably got a good chance of finding this. This will cost me about 20 quid these days, but I'm going to do it. Why have I not got this game? Simply put, wrong place, wrong time. I've never been in the right place where they've got one, and I've never had the finances to buy it. I've been wanting this game for some time, but it's just one of those things where you never buy it at the right time. So I think there's a good chance of me getting this, and I'm hoping Last Level Games will be the place to go, because they're going to have a stand at OLL this year, so I'm looking forward to that, as are others. So yeah, it's also a good game. I think it's a Capcom game, I could be wrong, so it's going to be made pretty well. And obviously, in the old days, it was very, very good artwork. It probably still holds up. So anyway, moving on. Game number 8, Secret Agent Clank. Out of all the Ratchet & Clank games, this is by far the rarest and most expensive. You're going to be paying at least £60 for this game. Why is it so expensive? I have no idea. Why did they release it in limited quantities? Once again, I have no idea. Being as quite a popular franchise on the PS2, you would have thought they released it like everywhere. Bearing in mind that Rat Gladiator, which was Ratchet's standalone game, was only worth about a tenner. Secret Agent Clank worth 60 quid probably doesn't make any sense. I didn't know it was a good game. I'm sure it's going to be a good game, but chance of me finding this? Decent chance, actually. I think I've got a good, decent chance. Compared to some games on this list, I've probably got a better chance, but I do live in hope and blind optimism. Game number 9, Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3 FES version. As you know, I have the Persona 3 original version. This is about 80 quid these days. The FES version is about 120 quid. By far the most expensive game on this list. What's the chance of me finding it? Incredibly low. As you can imagine, it's a rare game. Rarer than the actual Persona 3, which is also a rare game. This is probably super rare territory. Also, if I did get this, this will become my most expensive game I've got, just above King's Field 4. I do live in blind hope to find it again. Plus, I want to actually play Persona 3 again. I want to actually play the FES version, because obviously I'm going to assume it's the complete version. I could be wrong. I've been wrong so many times in my life. I do live in, once again, in optimism and faith. Last one on the list, number 10. Technically, this is 2 games, but it's the same franchise. Castlevania and Castlevania Curse of Darkness. Both games are reasonably expensive, not super expensive. Both games are reasonably rare, not super rare. What's the chance of me finding them? Decent to good. Generally speaking, Last Level Games have had these games before in the past that I've just passed on, and I've seen copies of both these games about 2 or 3 times in the last year. So there's a decent chance of finding it. Why haven't I bought these games? Once again, finances weren't right time for finances. This will probably be the rare game I'm hoping to get the most though, because it's just a personal thing. Let's quickly move on to PS2 consoles. The one I really would like is the Aqua Blue version. By far the most expensive one on a CEX list, it's also probably the coolest. The Dark Blue Aqua Blue, can't it's cool? I do need one. Hopefully I can get one for a decent price, because we're talking 3 figures, like low 3 figures. But the rare one I would like is the blindingly yellow PS2. It's a European PS2, so I don't know if we got it in Britain, but it was released in Europe. This is multiple hundreds, but it's so blindingly yellow, I have to have one. Also, it's chunky, thank God. I prefer the chunky to the slims. I will buy the slims, but it'll be one of those like, kind of thing. Obviously, if I find a pink PS2, I'll buy one. That only came with slim line. They're about 80 to 100 quid these days. I do need one. It's really bright pink though. Obviously, it was made for females for the SingStar franchise, but for some reason, the last year or so, it's gotten expensive, and I do need one. So I hope we'll find that. Accessories, obviously the Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller is always a must get. If I find one in good condition, still in the box, which some are, that will cost at least 200 quid. So that's probably on the lower end, unless I'm literally like, I must have it in mode, which could happen. Generally speaking, obviously, I could go a different way. I could go for the just buy as many cheap games as I possibly can method. Problem with that is, carrying them. It would mean going back and forth to my car and disposing of bags. That would be a pain in my posterior. Can you imagine if we came back with like 70 shovelware games? It would be good for the future, but at the same time, it's like, I bought so many games, now I've just got rare games. That would be, yeah, that would kill me on the inside, because I like buying rare games at the same time as shovel games. Just flows better for me. Also, as a personal side note, I will actually be looking for N64 SNES games, particularly those in good condition. As you know from the episode 1, I do have quite a few N64 games, about 35. That's all from my childhood. As you can see up there, I've got a few SNES games, about 10 or so. They're my two favourite consoles. Well, besides the PS2, of course. And I think the N64 games library isn't that entirely expensive. And there's only about 400 plus N64 games, so actually that's quite achievable. Obviously, Conker's Bad Fur Day is a reasonably expensive game, everyone knows that. And obviously N64 Paper Mario is ridiculously expensive, because I think that was one of the last 3 games released, along with Pokemon Stadium 2, which I've got, and Mario Party 3, which I've got. So they're obviously things. Obviously, while at OLL, I will be hopefully participating in the quiz again this year. Last year, Dan the Games Man, I was part of his team last year. Dan's significant other, and I've got one of our friends now, I've forgotten him anyway. I'm sorry, my friend. We came mid-table. Now, that might sound like average. I will take mid-table. That quiz last year was incredibly hard. If I can do mid-table on a hard quiz, that's a win in my book. I don't care what it is. Also, some people nearly ace that quiz. For those people who ace that quiz, you are amazing. And at the same time, I hope you're not there this year. Because I want to, if I go like upper mid, I'll be ecstatic. That's not going to happen though. Obviously at OLL, they will have a lot of retro games where you can, and consoles where you can actually play and sit down playing for about an hour or so in the corner. Obviously there'll be different not just game sales, there'll also be tabletop board game stands, which are always very good. Obviously food, last year there was a baker, I can't remember what the baker was called, but it was amazing. And there's other unique things. Game developers, I believe last year there was someone still developing a game for the Sega Dreamcast, which is absolutely hilarious. Oh, the Dreamcast, you were so young. You were crushed by the PS2 though. Rightfully so. How they thought they could beat the PS2 with that technology. God damn it, Sega. Also, a couple of things from the last episode. We lost a bit of footage from the last episode. That's why some of it seems a bit weird. It got corrupted. So there's a few games that you never actually got to see. I will be doing those games in the next episode with the eBay lot. The next episode will be an eBay lot. Hopefully I'll be here by then. I didn't plan to be an eBay lot, but yesterday I bought an eBay lot for a very good price. So I'm going to mix them both in. After that, I believe I'll be going to Peterborough and Huntington CEXs in the near future with a friend. That'll probably be coming in 2 to 3 weeks. And that will probably lead into the Saturday and Sunday episode of OLL, because episode 2 will be Saturday, episode 3 will be Sunday. Generally speaking, this year I'm going to have like a tally of what money I took with me, because I don't have it right now because I haven't got a clue. And every time I buy a game, we'll put the game title, how much I paid for it, and obviously we'll keep whittling down how much money I got left. So it's going to be interesting this year. I'm going to take a reasonable good amount of money, so we're going to be getting some good stuff. Also, from the last episode, you saw Colin for the first time. Colin is a good friend of mine. He did say he collects everything. He mainly collects Wii U games and PSP and PS Vita games. So of course he's gone for 3 of the hardest libraries to complete. Also, my co-editor and good friend Dave, Mr. Chongus, as I tend to call him. He collects Xbox 360 games, and his collection is starting to do reasonably well. You will find him on TikTok. Hopefully, it'll be somewhere in here, editing-wise. Obviously, you know Dan the Games Man, very good friend of mine. He's been very helpful. Dan's actually the one who gave me the name of PS2 Mini Games. He came up with it just like that, which is actually quite impressive. So I thank you for that. With every episode, I will put him in the description. Please watch his videos. He is very good at it. He's doing very well at the moment. and he is going to go to every CEX on the planet, which is an incredibly hard thing to do. But I will help him. I will help him. He has my sword, if you will. But he's a friend of the show, and I appreciate him immensely. That's pretty much it for this episode. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please comment. I reply to all comments when I'm not working. Once again, for those who do watch this, I do appreciate you. We're not even a month old yet, and we're not like massive. We're not even close to being massive. We're not even noticeable yet. But we're doing a lot better than I thought we would. A lot more views, especially a lot more views than I thought we would. Some of the videos are close to 1,000, which baffles me. But then again, I don't know what people are like these days. So thank you once again. Anyway, next week will be eBay. Hopefully you'll be here. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye.
PS2 mini games.